Isaac Newton, the revered scientist, once tried to turn lead into gold, a practice known as alchemy. Yes, you heard it right. The same Isaac Newton who revolutionized the world with his groundbreaking scientific theories and laws. The name Isaac Newton often brings to mind images of a brilliant mathematician and physicist, the man who formulated the laws of motion and universal gravitation. Indeed, his work laid the groundwork for classical physics, and has had an immeasurable impact on the scientific community. But there's another side to this scientific titan, a side that's often swept under the rug of history. Newton's interests extended far beyond the realm of conventional science. Among these interests was the ancient practice of alchemy, a field that today is widely regarded as a pseudoscience. Now, when we talk about alchemy, we're not referring to the whimsical wizardry often depicted in fantasy novels. Alchemy was a serious and respected practice in Newton's time, one that sought to understand the nature of substances and their interactions. Its ultimate goal was to transform base metals into noble ones, with the most famous aim being the conversion of lead into gold. Newton dove into the world of alchemy with the same fervor and determination that he applied to his more conventional scientific pursuits. His alchemical notes, which were discovered and studied long after his death, reveal a man deeply engrossed in the pursuit of the philosopher's stone, a mythical substance said to enable the transmutation of common metals into gold. But what could have drawn Newton, the rational scientist, to such a field? Some speculate that his interest in alchemy was driven by his desire to uncover the secrets of the universe, while others suggest that he saw it as a spiritual quest, a means to understand the divine. But Newton's dabbling in alchemy was only the first sign of a side to him that's less celebrated. So buckle up as we delve deeper into the unknown Newton, the man behind the equations, and uncover the intriguing tales of his forays into the mysterious realm of alchemy. Born prematurely on Christmas Day 1642, Newton's life was marked by solitude and a relentless pursuit of knowledge. The young Isaac Newton was raised in the quaint hamlet of Woolsthorpe, England. He was born into a farming family, yet the fields and pastures were never to be his world. He was a child of solitude, preferring the company of his thoughts and the mysteries of the universe to the companionship of others. Newton's mother, Hannah, recognized his unique mind early on. Despite their modest means, she sought to provide him with the best education possible. The young Newton was sent to the King's School, Grantham, where he began to reveal his exceptional intellect. Yet, even amid the hustle and bustle of school life, he remained a solitary figure, often found engrossed in his books rather than participating in the games and laughter of his peers. In 1661, at the age of 19, Newton enrolled at the prestigious Cambridge University. Here he found himself in an environment that nurtured his insatiable curiosity. His thirst for knowledge was unquenchable, and he would often ignore his physical needs in his quest to unravel the mysteries of the universe. He would forget to eat, sleep would elude him, and he would work until he was on the brink of exhaustion. Despite his solitary nature, Newton's brilliance couldn't be hidden. His professors were astounded by his intellect, and he quickly rose through the ranks, becoming a fellow in 1667 and a professor just 4 years later. Yet, even as his reputation grew, Newton remained an enigma, a solitary figure in a world of academia. Beyond physics and mathematics, Newton had a deep fascination with the occult and mysticism. This isn't the Isaac Newton we're typically introduced to in our history lessons. Our textbooks might have missed out on this intriguing facet of his personality. His rigorous scientific investigations were paralleled by an equally profound delve into the mystical and esoteric. Newton's interest in the occult was not a casual one. He was deeply involved in the study of alchemy, a precursor to modern chemistry that involved mystical elements. He believed that through alchemy, he could discover the secrets of the universe and perhaps even achieve immortality. He spent countless hours writing about alchemy, producing more manuscripts on this subject than on physics or mathematics. His fascination didn't stop at alchemy. Newton was also deeply invested in biblical chronology, attempting to date events from the Bible using astronomy. He believed that the Bible held hidden messages that could reveal the future, and so he devoted himself to the study of prophecy. His interpretations of the Book of Daniel and the Book of Revelation are still studied by scholars today. Furthermore, Newton was intrigued by ancient civilizations, particularly their knowledge of the world and the universe. He believed that they held secrets lost to time, secrets that could potentially revolutionize our understanding of the world. But these pursuits were not without controversy. In a time when science was beginning to separate itself from religion and superstition, Newton's interests were seen as unorthodox, even heretical. His peers in the scientific community might have ostracized him had they known the extent of his secret studies. Yet, Newton managed to keep these interests under wraps. His unconventional pursuits were largely unknown during his lifetime, only surfacing after his death when his private manuscripts were discovered. And so we're left with a more complex picture of Isaac Newton, the man who was not just a scientist but a mystic and an alchemist. Newton's unconventional interests were kept largely secret during his lifetime, only coming to light after his death. Newton's relentless pursuit of truth also led to some bitter rivalries, most notably with Robert Hooke and Gottfried Leibniz. Let's explore these rivalries, beginning with Robert Hooke. Hooke, a contemporary of Newton, was an accomplished scientist in his own right. The two men clashed over their respective theories of light. Hooke proposed a wave theory, stating that light was a series of pulses or waves. Newton, on the other hand, championed a particle theory, arguing that light was composed of tiny particles. The debate was fierce, marked by public disputes and heated letters. Newton was so incensed by Hooke's criticisms that he even threatened to quit the Royal Society. Newton's rivalry with Hooke may have been intense, but it paled in comparison to his conflict with Gottfried Leibniz. The heart of this dispute? The invention of calculus. Both men claimed to have developed this branch of mathematics independently. Newton argued that he had begun his work on calculus first, while Leibniz maintained that he had published his results before Newton. The rivalry turned bitter, devolving into a war of words that lasted for years. It was a contest not just of scientific achievement but also of reputation and legacy. The intensity of these conflicts revealed more than just Newton's passion for his work. They showed a side of him that was fiercely protective of his ideas, willing to engage in lengthy and often public disputes to defend them. He was not a man to back down easily, especially when it came to his scientific theories. At the same time, these rivalries underscored Newton's unyielding convictions. He was not one to easily change his mind or concede to others. Whether it was the nature of light or the origins of calculus, once he formed a belief, he clung to it with tenacity. These rivalries revealed a side of Newton that was fiercely protective of his work and unyielding in his convictions. In his later years, Newton's eccentricities became even more pronounced. Isaac Newton, the man who had once revolutionized the world of science, was now a figure of authority at the Royal Mint. His tenure there, starting in the late 17th century, was marked by a zealous commitment to his duties. He applied the same meticulous approach he used in his scientific work to tackle the rampant counterfeiting problem plaguing England's currency. But beneath this veneer of public service, the private Newton was unraveling. His behavior became increasingly erratic, marked by bouts of paranoia and nervous breakdowns. He was prone to fits of temper and would often withdraw from society for weeks at a time. It seemed the pressure of his numerous responsibilities, coupled with his relentless pursuit of knowledge, had begun to take a toll on his mental health. More than just a scholar and administrator, Newton had always been a seeker of hidden truths. This pursuit turned into an obsession during these years, as he delved deeper into the realms of alchemy and biblical prophecy. He spent countless hours poring over ancient texts, attempting to decipher their secrets. In his quest for understanding, he developed an obsession with the end of the world, believing he could predict its coming through his study of the Bible. Newton's final years were a stark contrast to the vibrant young scholar who had once changed our understanding of the universe. His health declined, his mind increasingly consumed by his obsessions. Yet even in his final days, his brilliance was undeniable. He continued to work, to question, to explore, until his death in the spring of 1727. As we reflect on Newton's life, we find a complex figure, a genius who was as enigmatic as he was brilliant. His final years, while marked by struggle, serve as a testament to his relentless pursuit of truth, a pursuit that changed the course of history. Isaac Newton, in all his complexity, remains a towering figure, a testament to the power and the pitfalls of the human mind.